First of all, Lee, I need to put something to you that's on the front page of the newspaper today we picked up earlier, and that is Jeremy Hunt is talking about softening migration plans to the UK, because if we don't do that, it will mean higher taxes. Lee, as a guy who's big on border control and a Brexiteer, and what's going on here, mate?
Well, good morning, Martin. Good morning, Angela. I'm sure that will be music to people's ears in places like Ashfield, who voted by about 70% to leave the European Union in 2016 and take back control of our borders and actually cap and control immigration. Look, that's not the sort of language we want to be hearing. Yes, I agree that higher immigration can actually make a bigger economy. We know that's true. But does it increase the standard of living? No, not always. That doesn't always follow. I think, like your previous guest just said, Martin, we've got about 1 in 5 Brits are economically inactive. There's the clue. There's the clue. Let's get these people back to work, upskilled, trained to do the jobs that need filling in this country. That's how you grow the economy.
You reckon, Lee, that perhaps we're paying too much in benefits to people then, and that they're being almost, in inverted commas, persuaded to stay out of work because it's cheaper for them not to work than it is for them to, as Olivia was saying, go to work and find all that money disappearing in childcare and everything else?
I agree, Angela. Yeah, I mean, I've been trawling around the Houses of Parliament, talking to anybody that had listened to me over the past few weeks, including the Chancellor, with my benefit checker. My background is Citizens Advice Bureau, where I used to do benefit checks, and we've got people in this country that's getting £30,000 a year net through universal credits, and which is a top up on their 16-hour-a-week jobs. Then they're getting 30 grand. They're not paying any tax. And that's a lot of money to take out the treasury. This is happening all over the UK, and these people who are trapped in this benefit trap, if you like, are then trapped in 16-hour-a-week jobs. They're not progressing their career. It damages the businesses they work for, and this is a fallout of Blair and Brown. And in '98, when we introduced a tax credit system, it's actually made it more attractive to stay at home or just do a few hours a week than go out and work 40 hours, do that little bit of overtime, and go through the career progression. And this is the problem, Angela. We and a quick fix, an easy solution. We try to treat the economy like the Premiership. Go out and find the best people from all around the world, or the cheapest players, or whatever. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It might bring you short-term success, but long-term, we've got to get our own people back in the workplace.
So, Lee, there's another point I'd like to pick up on from the Eye earlier, and that is insiders are hinting that Jeremy Hunt plans to soften the form of Brexit negotiated by Boris Johnson by removing the vast majority of trade barriers that exist between us and the EU. Surely, if that happens, that's a complete U-turn on Brexit and a betrayal of the 2019 mandate to get Brexit done.
Look, I'm not against having better trading agreements, Martin, with the rest of the EU, as with the rest of the world. But if we're going to go back to like a soft Brexit, then that will probably be a red line for a lot of people in the red wall and Conservative MPs like myself. Look, we wanted to take back control. We wanted to be a sovereign nation. We wanted to be able to trade with the rest of the world on a level playing field. I don't want to be in that EU club. We've been there, we've tried that, and it failed.
OK, Lee, so one final thing, the World Cup kicks off tomorrow. I know you've been very outspoken in the past about things like taking the knee in football. What do you make of this World Cup, the hypocrisy, people like Gary Neville, the Linekers, the Beckhams making millions? What do you make of this World Cup?
Well, keep them away from that desk you're sat on, Martin. We don't want these characters on GBNews presenting any news anytime. Look, you know my thoughts on the Beckhams and the Nevilles, and I'm not even going to go there with Lineker. Look, this is Gary Neville, who's been banging on about it. He comes out against homophobia, which is the right thing to do. He calls out sexism, which is the right thing to do. And then he's a champion of workers' rights. Now, this man's a hypocrite. He's now going over and taking goodness knows what amount of money to a country where, quite frankly, this World Cup should not be happening. They treat women, they treat gay people, they treat migrant workers with a total disrespect, and I think people like Gary Neville should hang their heads in shame.